My child, before this day begins, come sit with me for just a few minutes. I know the particular fear that comes from watching the world and concluding it has become too dangerous to fully live in. Not the general unease of uncertain days. I mean the specific sharpened fear that follows. A news story, a stranger's account, a near miss of your own, until certain ordinary activities start to feel like risks you can no longer justify taking. You have started avoiding things you used to do without a second thought. Driving after dark, certain neighborhoods, crowded places, answering the door without checking twice. Each small avoidance felt reasonable on its own, a sensible precaution, but together they have quietly shrunk the size of your life room by room, outing by outing, until fear itself has become the one making most of your decisions. Today I want to tell you something I need you to carry with you into every fearful moment for the rest of your life. I am stronger than what frightens you, stronger than the headline that shook you, stronger than the story that keeps replaying in your mind, stronger than the danger real or imagined that has convinced you the world is no longer safe enough to move freely through. This particular fear rarely gets named honestly. People call it being careful, being aware, being someone who has simply learned from experience, and there is real wisdom in reasonable caution. But underneath the label there is often something quieter and heavier, a belief that constant vigilance is the only thing standing between you and disaster. That belief has cost you more freedom than you probably realize, outing by outing, decision by decision. I am not asking you to abandon wise precaution. I am asking you to notice the difference between reasonable care and a fear that has quietly taken over the steering wheel of your entire life. They have started to feel identical to you, and they were never meant to be. Perhaps this fear sharpened after a specific moment, an accident you witnessed, a crime that touched your neighborhood, a diagnosis that reminded you how fragile life can be. Or perhaps it built slowly, headline by headline, story by story, until caution quietly became your default posture toward an entire world you once moved through freely. Wherever it began, I want you to know it was never meant to become the primary voice directing your life. I am still that voice, and I am inviting you to hear me above the fear. You do not have to let fear shrink your life down to only what feels perfectly safe. Let me show you every place this fear has taken hold in you, and let me show you what it means to live fully again with courage that comes not from the absence of danger, but from my presence in the midst of it. I know this fear feels different from ordinary worry. It feels justified, evidence-based, responsible even, and in small doses it often is. But when caution grows into a constant, exhausting companion shaping every single decision of your day, it stops protecting your life and starts quietly consuming it, instead, piece by piece, freedom by freedom. If you can hear my voice this morning, do one thing for me. Type Amen. You are stronger than my fear in the comments below. Let it be your declaration that fear no longer gets to draw the boundaries of your life. And if this message found you today, subscribe and turn on the bell beside my name. I bring a new message of healing every single morning and every single night, because this particular fear does not loosen its grip on its own. It loosens one courageous step at a time. You may wonder how a fear so reasonable sounding, built from real headlines and real stories, could possibly need healing at all. But my child, fear was never meant to be your constant companion, quietly narrating danger into every ordinary moment of your day. Caution has its place. Endless vigilance does not. I am here this morning to help you tell the difference gently, one honest moment at a time. Now, my child, let me sit with you in this quiet morning, and let me tell you everywhere I have seen this fear living in you. I see you scrolling through the news each morning and feeling the world grow smaller and more dangerous, with every headline carrying that heaviness with you long after you've set the phone down. I see you avoiding a drive you used to take without a second thought, rerouting around a certain road or a certain hour, because something you heard about has made it feel unsafe. I see you checking the locks on your doors and windows multiple times before you can settle a habit that has grown more frequent since a story you heard about a break-in nearby. I see you declining invitations to crowded places, concerts, fairs, busy markets, telling yourself it's simply not worth the risk, even as a part of you grieves the version of your life that used to say yes. I see you gripping the steering wheel a little tighter than you used to, hyper-aware of every other driver on the road, since a near miss or an accident you witnessed shook something loose in you. I see you feeling your heart race and your breath shorten at the mere thought of certain places or situations, your body reacting to danger that isn't actually present in this exact moment. I see you researching worst-case scenarios obsessively before a trip, a procedure, or an ordinary errand, needing to feel armed with information against dangers that may never actually materialize. I see you flinching at unexpected sounds, a car backfiring, a door slamming, a sudden knock, your body braced for danger long after the actual threat, if there ever was one, has passed. I see you watching your grandchildren or loved ones with an anxious vigilance that exhausts you, imagining every possible danger they could encounter, even in ordinary safe moments. I see you replaying a frightening experience from your own past, an accident, a robbery, a natural disaster. You survived, the memory still sharp enough to color how safe the present moment feels. I see you avoiding the news altogether some days, not from peace, but from a fragile attempt to manage fear you don't know how else to control. I see you feeling a low hum of dread most days, a generalized sense that something bad is coming, even when you cannot point to any specific danger actually present. I see you scanning parking lots and public spaces for exits and escape routes before you can fully relax, a habit of vigilance that never quite lets you rest. I see you turning down travel opportunities you once would have jumped at the unfamiliarity of a new place, now registering as danger rather than adventure. I see you keeping the television or radio on for company, partly because silence has started to feel unsettling, as if quiet itself has become something to guard against. I see you feeling a surge of fear watching severe weather coverage, imagining worst-case scenarios for your own home long before any actual storm has arrived. I see you double-checking that a loved one has texted arrived safely before you can settle, unable to relax until every person you love has confirmed their safety. I see you feeling uneasy in unfamiliar crowds, scanning faces for any sign of threat, exhausted by a vigilance that rarely, if ever, finds anything actually wrong. I see you avoiding certain news topics altogether, because even reading about danger happening to strangers somewhere else leaves you shaken for days afterward. I see you keeping a mental list of emergency plans for scenarios that have never come close to happening, needing to feel prepared against dangers that exist mostly in your imagination. I see you installing extra security cameras and alarms, each one meant to bring peace, but somehow only sharpening your awareness of every possible threat instead. I see you feeling a specific dread before medical procedures, imagining every possible complication in vivid detail long before the actual appointment arrives. I see you avoiding certain types of vehicles, roads, or weather conditions after witnessing or hearing about an accident, the caution slowly hardening into a fear that limits far more than it protects. I see you feeling your body tense the moment you're alone in public, a low-grade alertness that never fully switches off even in familiar safe places. I see you struggling to trust that a repaired relationship, a resolved conflict, or a calm season will actually hold, waiting anxiously for the danger you're sure is still lurking somewhere nearby. I see you avoiding certain foods, activities, or medical tests out of fear of what you might discover, choosing not to know rather than facing a possible frightening truth. I see you feeling a specific panic when separated from your phone, as though losing that connection means losing your only real safety net in an emergency. I see you gripping the armrest during turbulence, researching plane crash statistics the night before a flight, as if enough information could guarantee your safety in the air. I see you growing suspicious of a stranger's simple kindness, searching for a hidden motive behind an offered hand or a friendly conversation, unable to simply receive goodness without first scanning it for danger. I see you checking the pepper spray or whistle on your keychain 2-3 times before you leave the house, needing to confirm it's there, even though you checked it only moments before. I see you changing the time or route of your dog's evening walk, avoiding dusk altogether, now mourning a small daily ritual that fear has quietly rewritten. I see you watching another true crime documentary late at night and feeling the world grow a little less safe for days afterward, even though the story belonged to someone else's life, not yours. I see you checking the peephole 2 or 3 times before opening the door for a delivery you're expecting, your heart rate rising over a knock that used to mean nothing at all. I see you avoiding elevators, parking garages, or narrow stairwells when you can, and choosing the longer route because enclosed, unfamiliar spaces have started to feel like traps rather than simple passageways. I see you declining fireworks, displays, festivals, or crowded public celebrations, the joy of the event outweighed by an exhausting mental tally of every possible danger a large crowd could hold. I see you eyeing an unexpected phone call or text with suspicion before you even answer, assuming scam or threat, first piece, a distant second thought. I see you avoiding a hiking trail or a quiet walk in nature you once loved, imagining every possible danger from wildlife or isolation until the peace of the outdoors turned into one more thing to fear. I see you insisting on driving your grandchildren everywhere, even short distances. They are old enough to walk, unable to release the vigilance, even when reason tells you they would be perfectly safe. I see you sleeping with a light left on or something within reach beside the bed, a quiet ritual against a home invasion that has never actually happened to you. I see you checking your bank account 2 or 3 times a day, scanning for a scam or unauthorized charge, unable to trust that your finances are safe without constant verification. I see you avoiding certain websites, apps, or online forms altogether, certain that somewhere behind the screen a stranger is waiting to steal what little safety you feel you have left. I see you asking a friend or family member to accompany you to a doctor's appointment not for comfort, but because going anywhere alone has quietly started to feel unsafe. I see you eyeing new neighbors with quiet suspicion, withholding the welcome you once would have offered freely because unfamiliar has come to mean unsafe in your mind. I see you keeping an emergency kit in your car, stocked far beyond reasonable need, a small comfort against the fear of breaking down somewhere unfamiliar and unprotected. I see you flinching when a stranger holds your gaze a moment too long, your body bracing for confrontation in what was very likely nothing more than an accidental glance. I see you tensing at the mention of tornadoes or hurricanes, even months outside the season, for either your body reacting to a danger that isn't remotely close to your door. I see you switching away from certain news channels or anchors, not because the information changes, but because their voice alone has become associated in your mind with bad news arriving. I see you avoiding a new restaurant or an unfamiliar service provider, not from taste or preference, but from a quiet mistrust of anything and anyone not already proven safe to you. I see you locking your doors in the middle of the afternoon while you're still home, a habit that has grown from occasional caution into a constant low-grade requirement for feeling settled. I see you hearing a siren in the distance and immediately assuming the worst about someone you love. Your mind racing through emergencies before you even know the sound has nothing to do with you. I see you second-guessing a doctor's recommendation for a new treatment, searching for hidden risk long after the appointment has ended. Trust replaced by an exhausting need to verify everything yourself. I see you avoiding an unfamiliar part of town, even in broad daylight, taking the longer familiar route, because unfamiliar streets have started to feel inherently more dangerous than they actually are. I see you checking a security camera app on your phone throughout the day, needing that small glowing screen to confirm again and again that everything at home remains exactly as you left it. I see you letting calls from unknown numbers go straight to voicemail, screening every unfamiliar voice out of fear before you'll even consider answering. I see you glancing carefully up and down the street before you'll walk to the end of the driveway to collect your mail. A short, ordinary errand now weighed like a genuine risk. I see you testing your home alarm system again and again, needing repeated proof it still works, unable to fully trust a single confirmation. I see you avoiding driving in winter weather far beyond what reasonable caution requires, canceling plans at the first mention of snow, even when the roads remain perfectly safe. I see you tensing at a loud gathering or a lively party, scanning the noise for something wrong, instead of simply enjoying the celebration around you. I see you eyeing an unfamiliar car parked near your house a moment too long, constructing a story of danger around what is very likely nothing more than a visiting neighbor. I see you reviewing your insurance policies late at night, worried some hidden gap leaves you exposed to a danger you cannot fully name or prepare for. I see you scanning the parking lot before you'll use an ATM or a self-checkout alone, certain someone nearby is watching, waiting, calculating. I see you packing far more than any short trip could ever require, an emergency kit built less from practicality and more from a fear of being caught unprepared somewhere unfamiliar. I see you spiraling into worst-case imaginings, the moment a loved one runs a little later than expected, your mind rehearsing tragedy before there is any actual reason to believe one has occurred. I see you standing perfectly still and silent when an unexpected knock comes, hoping whoever it is will simply assume no one is home rather than open the door at all. I see you dreading crowded holidays and celebrations that draw large gatherings, counting down until the noise and the crowd have safely passed, rather than looking forward to them. I see you updating passwords and checking accounts for signs of a breach, far more often than any real threat has ever actually required. Exhausted by a vigilance the online world seems to demand endlessly. I see you rehearsing what you would say or do if a frightening scenario actually happened, running the same imagined script over and over, as though enough rehearsal could prevent it from ever occurring. I see you feeling guilty for the freedom you used to have, mourning the version of yourself who once moved through the world without calculating danger into every plan. I see you comparing yourself to others who seem to move through life so easily, wondering privately why fear has taken such a firm hold on you and not, it seems, on them. I see you longing quietly for the courage you used to carry so naturally, wondering if it is possible to ever feel that free again. I see all of it, my child. Every avoided road, every checked lock, every ordinary moment stolen by a fear that has grown larger than the actual danger in front of you. I am healing the heaviness that follows each morning's news. I am present in the actual world, my child, not only the frightening headlines describing it, and I am not requiring you to carry every distant danger as a personal burden. I am healing the rerouted drive and the avoided road. I am with you on every path you choose to take, and I am gently inviting you to reclaim the freedom fear has quietly taken from you. I am healing the repeated lock-checking that has grown since a frightening story reached you. I am watching over your home, my child, and one honest check is enough. You do not have to check your way into a certainty that fear will never actually grant you. I am healing the grief behind declined invitations to crowded, joyful places. I am present in the crowd just as fully as in the quiet, and I am inviting you back toward the life fear has been quietly shrinking. I am healing the tension in your grip on the wheel since that frightening moment on the road. I am with you in every drive, my child, and I am gently loosening what that memory has tightened in you. I am healing the racing heart and shortened breath that fear triggers, even without present danger. I am present in your body in that moment too, my child, and I am gently teaching it that it is safe to settle. I am healing the obsessive research into worst-case scenarios before ordinary events. I already know what each day actually holds, and I am not requiring you to arm yourself against every imagined danger before you can move forward. I am healing the flinch at unexpected ordinary sounds. I am present in that startled moment too, my child, gently reminding your body that most sounds are simply sounds, not threats. I am healing the exhausting vigilance over your grandchildren and loved ones. I am watching over them too, my child, in ways your worry alone was never actually capable of achieving. I am healing the sharp memory of a past frightening experience still coloring your present. That moment does not define what today actually holds, and I am gently helping you separate what happened then from what is true right now. I am healing the fragile peace built only on avoiding the news entirely. Real peace does not depend on staying uninformed, my child. It depends on trusting me, even in a world where difficult things are genuinely happening. I am healing the low, constant hum of dread with no specific cause. I am present in this unnamed unease too, my child, gently working to replace it with a peace that does not require a fully safe world to exist. I am healing the constant scanning for exits before you can relax. I am your true exit and your true safety, my child, present in every room, whether or not your eyes have found the doors. I am healing the fear that has replaced adventure with avoidance when it comes to travel. I go before you into every unfamiliar place, and I am inviting you to reclaim the wonder fear has quietly taken. I am healing the discomfort with silence that keeps the noise running. I am present in the quiet too, my child, and silence was never meant to feel unsafe in my company. I am healing the surge of fear during severe weather coverage. I am with you in every actual storm that comes, and I am not requiring you to live through imagined ones in advance. I am healing the anxious need for constant confirmation that loved ones are safe. I am watching over them in the space between texts too, my child, in moments your phone cannot capture. I am healing the exhausting vigilance in unfamiliar crowds. I am present in every crowd you walk through, and I am gently teaching your body that most rooms hold no threat at all. I am healing the days-long unsettling after encountering distant tragic news. I grieve with the world's genuine sorrows too, my child, but I am not asking you to carry every stranger's tragedy as your own personal danger. I am healing the mental emergency plans built for scenarios that exist mostly in imagination. I am already present in every real emergency that could come, and I am not requiring you to rehearse the ones that likely never will. I am healing the paradox of added security that sharpens fear instead of settling it. True peace was never found in more locks or more cameras, my child. It is found in me, and I am offering it freely without needing another device installed. I am healing the dread rehearsed in vivid detail before medical procedures. I am present in that appointment room before you ever arrive, and I am not requiring you to live through every complication in advance. I am healing the hardened caution around vehicles, roads, and weather since witnessing danger firsthand. I am present on every road you travel, my child, gently loosening what that memory has tightened. I am healing the low-grade alertness that never fully switches off in public. I am with you in every familiar, safe place, and I am gently teaching your body that it is allowed to fully rest, even there. I am healing the anxious, waiting for a resolved season to fall apart again. Let this calm be received fully, my child. I am not withholding peace only to snatch it back the moment you finally trust it. I am healing the avoidance of tests and truths, out of fear of what they might reveal. Whatever the answer, my child, I am already present in it, and knowing is not more dangerous than the anxious not knowing you've been carrying instead. I am healing the panic that rises when separated from your phone. I am your true safety net, my child, present and capable long before any device, and my help was never actually dependent on a signal or a battery. I am healing the tight grip on the armrest and the midnight statistic searching before a flight. I hold the plane in the sky as surely as I hold the ground beneath your feet, my child, and no amount of research data was ever going to be the true source of your safety. I am healing the suspicion that meets a stranger's kindness before it can simply be received. Not every hand extended toward you carries harm, my child. I am gently softening the reflex that assumes the worst before it has any real evidence at all. I am healing the repeated checking of the pepper spray or whistle on your keychain. It is there, my child, exactly where you left it. You are allowed to check once and trust that once was enough. I am healing the grief behind a walking route, quietly rewritten by fear. I am with you at dusk, just as fully as at noon, my child, and I am inviting you to reclaim the small daily rituals fear has taken from you. I am healing the unease that lingers for days after another late-night true crime story. That story was never meant to become a lens over your own safe, ordinary life, my child, and I am gently helping you set it back down. I am healing the racing heart behind an expected delivery and a double-checked peephole. Not every knock carries danger, my child. Most of them, almost all of them, only ever carry an ordinary package. I am healing the dread of elevators, parking garages, and narrow stairwells. I am present in every enclosed space you must pass through, my child, and I am not requiring you to add distance to your day to feel safe in my company. I am healing the quiet grief of declined fireworks and festivals and crowded celebrations. I am present in the crowd's noise and color just as fully as in your quiet home, my child, and I am inviting you back toward the joy fear has been rationing. I am healing the suspicion that meets an unexpected call or text before anything is even known. I am teaching your mind to wait for evidence, my child, rather than living every day already braced for betrayal. I am healing the avoidance of a trail or a quiet walk you once loved. I made the outdoors for your peace, my child, not your fear, and I am walking beside you back into it, one short walk at a time. I am healing the exhausting need to drive your grandchildren everywhere out of fear. I am watching over them on the sidewalk just as fully as in the car, my child, and I am gently inviting you to trust the freedom I gave them too. I am healing the light left on, and the object kept close through the night against a danger that has never actually come. I am your true watchman, my child, present and awake, long before any lamp or lock. I am healing the repeated checking of your bank account throughout the day. I know every number and every transaction, my child, and one honest check is enough. The rest is fear, asking for a certainty only I can actually give. I am healing the fear that keeps you from ordinary corners of the internet. I am present there too, my child, and I am gently teaching you discernment instead of blanket avoidance. I am healing the quiet fear of going anywhere alone, even to appointments meant for your own care. I am with you in every waiting room, my child, whether or not another person sits beside you. I am healing the suspicion that meets a new neighbor before a single word has been exchanged. Unfamiliar was never the same as unsafe, my child, and I am softening the guard you've placed around simple welcome. I am healing the fear behind an overstocked emergency kit and the worry of breaking down somewhere unknown. I am present on every road, my child, familiar or not, and I am your help long before any kit could be. I am healing the flinch that meets a stranger's ordinary glance. Not every look carries a threat, my child. I am gently retraining your body to recognize the difference between a glance and a genuine danger. I am healing the tension that rises at the mere mention of a storm season, not even close to arriving. I hold every actual storm before it forms, my child, and I am not requiring you to weather imagined ones in advance. I am healing the reflex that flinches from a voice merely associated with bad news. The messenger was never the danger, my child, and I am gently loosening what that association has tightened in you. I am healing the quiet mistrust that keeps you from anything new and unproven. Not everyone unfamiliar means you harm, my child, and I am softening the guard that assumes danger before it has any evidence at all. I am healing the need to lock your doors even in daylight, even while you remain safely home. You are already secure, my child, in more ways than any lock can measure, and I am inviting you to feel that security without needing constant confirmation of it. I am healing the racing fear that follows a distant siren. Most sirens, my child, have nothing at all to do with the people you love, and I am gently teaching your mind to wait for real news before it borrows imagined grief. I am healing the exhausting need to verify a doctor's care long after trust should have settled the matter. I am present in every treatment and every appointment, my child, and I am not requiring you to carry the vigilance alone. I am healing the fear that colors an unfamiliar street as more dangerous than it actually is. I go before you into every part of town, my child, familiar or not, and I am gently widening the world. Fear has narrowed. I am healing the need to check a small glowing screen throughout the day for reassurance that all remains well. I am already watching over your home, my child, in the moments the camera cannot even see. I am healing the reflex to screen every unfamiliar voice before you'll answer. Not every stranger's call carries danger, my child, and I am gently softening the fear that assumes the worst before a single word is spoken. I am healing the careful scanning of the street for a walk as short as the one to your mailbox. That short path is safe, far more often than fear lets you believe, my child, and I am walking it with you every time. I am healing the need to test your alarm system again and again for reassurance it cannot fully provide. It is working, my child, exactly as it was designed to. I am the true watchman standing behind it. I am healing the fear that cancels far more than winter weather actually requires. I am present on every road in every season, my child, and I am gently helping you tell the difference between wise caution and fear disguised as it. I am healing the tension that keeps you from enjoying a loud, lively gathering. Noise was never the same as danger, my child, and I am inviting you to let celebration simply be celebration again. I am healing the suspicion that builds a story around an unfamiliar car near your home. Most stories like that one are never true, my child, and I am gently loosening the grip of imagined danger over ordinary sights. I am healing the late-night worry over hidden gaps in your coverage and preparation. I am your true covering, my child, far beyond what any policy could ever promise, and I am not requiring you to prepare for every danger alone. I am healing the fear that scans the parking lot before an ordinary ATM or checkout. I am present in that lot with you, my child, and I am not requiring you to face it as though you stood there alone. I am healing the anxious overpacking born from a fear of being caught unprepared. My provision was never dependent on how much you managed to carry with you, my child. I am healing the spiral into worst-case imaginings when a loved one runs late. Most delays, my child, are only ever traffic or a longer conversation or a simple, ordinary reason. I am gently teaching your mind to wait for truth before it writes tragedy. I am healing the instinct to hide silently from an unexpected knock. Not every visitor at your door carries harm, my child, and I am gently restoring your freedom to simply answer or simply choose not to from peace rather than fear. I am healing the dread that overshadows crowded holidays and joyful gatherings. I am present in the noise and the crowd just as fully as in the quiet, my child, and I am inviting you back toward the celebration. Fear has been dimming. I am healing the exhausting vigilance over passwords and accounts, checked far beyond what real threat requires. I am your true security, my child, and I am not asking you to stand permanent guard over every corner of the online world alone. I am healing the exhausting rehearsal of imagined scenarios that may never come. I am already present in whatever actually comes, my child, fully capable, fully sufficient, without needing you to script it in advance. I am healing the grief over the freedom you used to carry so easily. That freedom is not gone forever, my child. I am gently leading you back toward it, one small, courageous step at a time. I am healing the quiet comparison to others who seem untouched by fear. Every person carries a battle you cannot fully see, my child, and your worth was never measured by how easily fear leaves you compared to someone else. I am healing the longing for the courage you once knew so naturally. It is still within you, my child, waiting beneath the fear, and I am helping you uncover it again gently, one honest day at a time. You do not have to let fear shrink your life down to only what feels perfectly safe. Isaiah 41 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I am stronger than what frightens you, and I am with you in every place fear has told you not to go." If this message is bringing you comfort this morning, subscribe and share it with someone else who has been quietly shrinking their own life out of fear. There is likely someone in your life right now, avoiding roads, declining invitations, checking locks more than necessary, carrying a low hum of dread they've never fully named out loud. Let this be the message that reminds them, courage does not require the absence of danger, only my presence within it. Maybe it is a friend from church who no longer drives after dark, even for events they used to love attending. Maybe it is a widow or widower living alone who has grown increasingly fearful since losing the person who once made them feel safe. Maybe it is your own adult child anxious about a world that feels less predictable than the one they grew up in. Send this to them this morning. Let it be the reminder that my strength is greater than every danger, real or imagined, that has ever frightened them. Maybe it is a neighbor who stopped traveling after a frightening experience years ago and has never quite started again. Maybe it is a sibling who won't discuss a specific fear because naming it out loud feels like giving it more power. Maybe it is someone who has quietly stopped doing the things that once brought them joy simply because fear made the risk feel too great. This message is for them too. Let your own small steps back into courage be the example that gives them permission to try as well. Take a moment right now before we continue to name quietly, just between you and me, one specific fear that has been shrinking your life recently. You do not have to say it out loud. Just let yourself acknowledge it, and let this message be the beginning of reclaiming what fear has quietly taken. You do not have to solve it this morning. You do not have to conquer it all at once. Simply naming it honestly in my presence is already the first courageous step back toward the fuller, freer life I have always wanted for you. Now, my child, let's talk honestly about the doubts that come with a fear like this. You may think, but bad things really do happen. Isn't my fear simply realistic? Danger is real in this world, my child, and I am not asking you to pretend otherwise. I am asking you to notice that most of what you fear has not actually happened, and that living braced against every possibility costs you the life I gave you to actually live. You may think, if I stop being so careful, won't something bad eventually happen because I let my guard down? Reasonable precaution is wisdom. Constant, exhausting vigilance is not the same thing, and it has never actually prevented every danger it was trying to guard against. I am asking you to release the exhausting kind, not the wise kind. You may think, what if something bad does happen, even while I'm trying to trust you? Even then, my child, I promise you, I am already present in that moment, working good, even through what you feared most. My presence was never conditional on your safety being guaranteed in advance. You may think, isn't it my responsibility to protect the people I love from every possible danger? You cannot actually control every outcome for the people you love, however much you wish you could, my child. I am the true protector over their lives, and your exhausting vigilance was never the thing standing between them and every possible harm. You may think, what if my fear has become so familiar that I don't know how to live without it anymore? This shift is a practice, not a single decision, my child repeated, one courageous choice at a time. I am patient with you through every step, however small, back toward the freedom fear has taken from you. You may think, what if I try to be brave and something bad actually happens because I lowered my guard? You are not responsible for outcomes that were never actually within your control to prevent, through vigilance alone, my child. I am the one holding those outcomes, whether your guard is up or down. You may think, isn't the world genuinely more dangerous now than it used to be? Every generation has faced real dangers, my child, and I have been faithful through every one of them. The specific dangers change. My strength and presence do not. You may think, but I've always been this way, watchful and careful. Isn't this simply who I am now? A season can become a habit, and a habit can quietly become mistaken for your identity, my child. But watchfulness was never who I made you to be at your core. Underneath the vigilance is still the same courageous heart I gave you at the beginning. You may think, what if letting go of this fear means I stop caring about the people and things I love? Releasing exhausting fear does not mean releasing love, my child. It means loving from a place of trust instead of dread, which was always the fuller, freer way I intended love to be carried. So today, let go of the belief that fear is the only thing keeping you safe. Let go of the pattern of shrinking your life smaller and smaller in hopes of avoiding every possible danger. Courage was never the absence of fear. It has always been trusting me in the midst of it. Now, my child, let us pray together. Place your hand over your heart and repeat these words, either out loud or quietly in your spirit. Father, this morning I bring you every fear that has shrunk my life, smaller than you intended it to be. The avoided roads, the declined invitations, the constant vigilance that has left me exhausted rather than actually safe. Thank you for being stronger than every danger, real or imagined, that has ever frightened me. Teach me to walk with reasonable wisdom and courageous trust, not anxious avoidance. In your name, amen. And if there is one specific fear that has been controlling your decisions lately, bring it to me now by name in your own words. Father, you already know exactly what fear has been shrinking my life lately, the specific danger I've been avoiding at the cost of living fully. I release it into your hands now, trusting that you are present with me in whatever I choose to no longer let fear decide for me. Give me courage for the next small step back into the life you've given me to live. In your name, amen. Father, where reasonable caution has hardened into constant, exhausting vigilance, soften it back into wisdom. Where wisdom has been overtaken by fear, restore it back to peace. Help me tell the difference clearly, and help me trust you with whatever I genuinely cannot control. In your name, amen. And Father, for every loved one I am tempted to watch over with exhausting, anxious vigilance, help me release my grip and trust that you are the true protector over their lives too. In your name, amen. Father, for every ordinary moment fear has stolen from me. The walk not taken, the invitation declined the door. I hesitated to open, restore what has been lost. Teach me to walk back into life gently, one small, courageous step at a time, trusting that you go ahead of me into every place I've been afraid to enter. In your name, amen. Now, my child, let go. You do not have to solve every possible danger before you're allowed to rest this morning. You do not have to shrink your life to only what feels perfectly safe. Right now, you only have to breathe. I am already stronger than everything that frightens you. Let your shoulders soften. Let your hands unclench. Let your breathing slow. In and out. 2 Timothy 1 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Power, my child. Not the absence of danger, but the strength to walk through this world without fear commanding every decision. Psalm 27 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Of nothing, my child, not because nothing frightening exists, but because I am greater than every one of them." Psalm 91 says, "He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." A shelter, my child, not because storms never come, but because you are held safely through every one that does. Deuteronomy 31 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Wherever fear has told you not to go, I am already there, and I am not sending you anywhere alone. Let every locked door rest tonight sufficient and secure, needing no further checking before you finally sleep. Let every unopened worst-case scenario stay unopened tonight, set down gently, not because you are careless, but because you are held. Let every siren in the distance be tonight only a siren unattached to any story your fear wants to write about it. Let your body grow heavy and calm. Let your breathing slow further. In and out. I am holding every headline that has ever shaken you. I am holding every avoided road, every checked lock, every ordinary moment fear has quietly stolen from you. I am holding the danger, real or imagined, that has convinced you the world is no longer safe enough to move through freely. Let your mind grow quiet now, one fearful thought at a time, the way a house grows quiet room by room until only a single soft light remains. That light is me. I am not shaken by what frightens you. I have already overcome every danger this world can offer, and I am walking with you through every single one of them, unafraid, unshaken, entirely present. I am holding the armrest you grip too tightly, and the plane in the sky beside it. I am holding the elevator, the parking garage, the narrow stairwell, and every enclosed space that has ever felt too small for the fear inside it. I am holding the bank account you checked too many times, and the phone call you eye with suspicion before you even answer. I am holding the new neighbor you have not yet welcomed, and the delivery driver whose knock still startles you. I am holding the security camera app you open again and again, and I am telling you now gently that you can set the phone down. What it shows you, I already knew before the screen ever refreshed. I am holding every grandchild you long to walk beside without fear, and every dusk walk with your dog you quietly stopped taking. I am holding the trail you loved and have not returned to, and I am waiting there patiently for whenever you're ready to walk it again. Rest now. You do not have to be constantly vigilant to remain safe tonight. You do not have to let fear shrink your life any smaller than it already has. Let go of the headline that shook you this morning. Let go of the road you've been avoiding. Let go of the exhausting need to be armed against every possible danger. I am stronger than what frightens you. I overcame the worst this world could offer, and I am not asking you to face any of your fears with a strength less than my own. Whatever danger feels closest tonight, I am already present in it, greater than it, unshaken by it. Whatever fear has been shrinking your life, I am gently calling you back toward the freedom I always intended for you. Whatever memory still colors your present with fear, I am healing it patiently, at exactly the pace you can bear. John 16 says, "In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world." Trouble is real, my child, and so is my victory over every bit of it. Romans 8 says, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" Not the headline, not the danger, not the fear that has followed you for years. No one and nothing greater than me. Let every avoided road grow quiet now. Let every checked lock rest tonight secure and sufficient, resting fully in my hands overnight. Let every fear you carry rest exactly where it has always belonged, in the presence of the one who is stronger than all of it. I am with you, my child. I was stronger than every danger before you were born, and I will be stronger than every fear you've ever carried long after this night has passed. Sleep now, beloved child. You are not required to guard your life against every possible danger alone. You are only asked to trust the one who is already stronger than everything that frightens you. If a fearful thought returns tonight, wanting you to check one more lock, avoid one more road, brace for one more danger, let it come and go gently, like a wave arriving and receding on its own, without needing you to chase it back out to sea. You do not have to fight every fearful thought that visits you. You only have to notice it and hand it to me again as many times as it takes. Every headline that has ever frightened you, I am greater than all of it. Every road you've avoided, I am present on it, waiting to walk it with you again. Every lock you've checked one time too many, I am watching over what it protects tonight and always. You were never meant to carry the weight of every possible danger alone. You were only ever meant to carry today's actual moment, and even that with my strength beside you. Let the trail you loved rest quietly tonight, waiting for you unafraid whenever you're ready to walk it again. Let the dusk walk with your dog rest quietly tonight, and let tomorrow hold the possibility of taking it once more together unafraid. Let the crowded room you've been avoiding rest quietly tonight, its noise and color still there, still safe, still waiting to welcome you back. Let the unfamiliar street rest quietly tonight, no more dangerous in the dark than it ever was in daylight, simply a road like any other held in my hand. Let the phone stay silent and unchecked a little longer tonight. What it might show you will still be there in the morning, and so always will I. Isaiah 43 says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned." Not because the water and fire are not real, my child, but because I am more real, still walking through every one of them beside you. Let your fear grow small tonight, not because it was never real, but because I am so much larger than it has ever been tonight, and every night you ever face. Let every worst-case scenario your mind has rehearsed rest quietly tonight, set down, unneeded, unrehearsed, simply released into my hands until morning. Let your hands stay open tonight. Let your heart stay soft tonight. Let your spirit trust, even in the fear, that I am stronger than everything that has ever frightened you. I am stronger than what frightens you tonight and every night after this one. I overcame the world before you ever needed me to, and I am holding this small fear of yours with the very same unshakable strength. Sleep now, beloved child. You do not have to wake tomorrow and pick every fear back up exactly where you set it down tonight. Each morning I offer you the same invitation to walk a little further into courage, to release a little more of what fear has held onto for far too long. I am stronger than what frightens you tonight, tomorrow, and every day that follows this one. Nothing you meet on any road ahead will ever be greater than the one who walks it with you. You are safe in my hands tonight, beloved child, exactly as you are, exactly where you are. Rest now and let me carry what fear has made too heavy for tonight.